Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Stephen Speckart. I am a very recent retired cancer physician in Missoula, Montana.
How do we spell your last name?
S-P-E-C-K-A-R-T.
Thank you.
Retired cancer physician from Missoula, and I was a plaintiff in the Baxter decision. I would like to share with you the physician's perspective of aid in dying in support of Senate Bill 167. My involvement with dying patients began in the late 1970s when we founded First Hospice in Montana in Missoula. It was an all-volunteer effort for many years. Initially, I found I was quite inexperienced. How after very many visits within patients' homes, I began to develop an entirely new understanding of terminal illness and dying through this incredible experience. Participating in family dynamic of support, love, and care was extremely satisfying, and I felt my presence was critical for optimal management of this most painful and difficult time of illness. It became very clear to me that those issues surrounding how we die represent the most critical and sacred moments of our individual lives. Each and every death is extraordinarily personal and absolutely singular. Application of standard and accepted bioethical principles of dignity, autonomy, self-determination, and relief of pain and suffering are fundamental in support and management of all dying patients. This is a time when family most need the maximum support of providers, to include their physician. Historically, physicians in Montana could not respond to those very few patients who, because of intolerable suffering, requested drugs to end their life. Refusal was awkward and left the patient feeling abandoned and fearful of their terminal circumstances. The Baxter decision allows for continuance of desired and optimal physician care, not abandoning, but being there as you should be, understanding and supportive of the patient who's dying and suffering terribly. An important and germane issue to physicians in dying in Montana is a recently announced national call for a change in practice directives for terminal ill patients. The American Society of Clinical Oncology, ASCO, the voice of all cancer specialists in America, just now issued practice guidelines to its members on management of patients with incurable cancer, and I quote, "Helping patients live their final days in comfort and dignity is one of the most important responsibilities of our profession," said ASCO President George W. Sledge. Patients have a right to make informed choices about their care. Oncologists must lead the way in discussing the full range of curative and palliative therapies to ensure the patient's choices are honored. End of quote. This organization, ASCO, has never before told physicians how to practice. It's very unusual for them to come out and say this is what we must do. And this directive occurred because of mounting outcry from multiple sources criticizing the community, the cancer community, about absent, ineffective, or delayed conversations terminal patients were receiving from their doctors. Such an abrupt policy change is a major event and is related to physician-assisted dying because ultimately this is a patient's right issue, and choice of physician-assisted dying within terminal illness should be a viable choice. Lastly, most physicians feel significant dis-ease with the limited safeguards and possible risk of criminal prosecution after the Baxter decision. Physicians feel strongly that adherence to additional safeguards, to include those exempting populations at risk, such as the disabled and elder abuse, are imperative, and that full implementation of SB 167 will both select only those patients who are soon to die for physician-assisted dying and provide immunity to caregivers. We ask this committee to vote in favor of SB 167 so that patients in Montana with intolerable suffering may have a choice and that caregivers can provide full spectrum of compassionate care without fear of prosecution. Thank you.